for a victory lap.
And I'm going to start the victory lap segment, and that is because I am taking a victory lap on myself again. Because of a call that I made at the beginning of the season. And you guys want to hear it? You want to hear the call? Because I have. Here we go. Listen, this is from before the season, before the drafts, way before the draft. This is like in July. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chaz for the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, and here I am with today's Why Not? Why not David Montgomery as Detroit's #1 running back? Everybody at home is taking Jahmyr Gibbs ahead of David Montgomery, and I think that is the wrong move. Look at Dan Campbell's history. Back when he was in New Orleans, they have the young electric Alvin Kamara. They run Mark Ingram into the ground. Last year, young electric DeAndre Swift, they run Bumbles Jamal Williams into the ground. If there's anybody that's just like those two running backs, it is David Montgomery. David Montgomery should be drafted before Jahmyr Gibbs in every single draft. The history shows it, and if you believe that Dan Campbell is going to take the young talented back instead of the bumbly slow guy to run up the middle, you crazy. David Montgomery as Detroit's #1 running back? Why not? Victory lap, y'all. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but like, duh.
No, not that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Everybody just thinks Dan Campbell is gonna. No. We everyone was excited because they were jerking off in the fucking war room when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. Good. Go ahead, run him 3 times and throw him once. Like
This was my draft sheet before we even started drafting, and this was me before even going into the draft, just crossing Jahmyr Gibbs' name right off my list.
Yeah. To be fair, I have officially 0 shares of Jahmyr Gibbs, and I have Montgomery in 2 or 3 of my 5 teams.
Exactly.
So, and no, I didn't ever take. Even though I said to do it, I never took Montgomery over Gibbs, but that's because I never took Gibbs because he was going way before I was comfortable, and people were leaving him there.
Gibbs was getting drafted as an RB2.
Yeah, absolutely was, and it's just
and look how much better you guys have eyes. It's been 4 weeks. Y'all used to joke around and dunk on me about DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is a better running back than Jahmyr Gibbs, and there's no doubt about it in my mind after 4 weeks. None. 0%. Yeah. DeAndre Swift is quicker. He hits the hole harder. He has definitely well, I don't know about better hands, but just as good as hands. There's nothing you can say about Jahmyr Gibbs that's better than DeAndre Swift, and they fucking sold the guy out for a 4th-round pick to take another running back to use Bumbles. Ridiculous. And I'm not even going to dunk on Dan Campbell here, and it's not even dunking on Dave Montgomery because he's killing it. Dave Montgomery's killing it. He missed a game and is still probably the #1 running back and #2 running back in fantasy football, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
So.
I mean, I think the best thing about this situation is like good for DeAndre Swift and for David Montgomery because they both got out of being on shitty teams to go to better teams. DeAndre Swift obviously leaving Detroit to go to a legitimate Super Bowl contender, and David Montgomery getting out of the suck hole that is Chicago and at least going to a team that has a chance to do something. I mean, I think this worked out for everybody except for Jahmyr Gibbs, who got drafted by the wrong team.
Completely agree. Completely agree with that.
Fun fact I heard today. There are 2 0-4 teams in the NFL right now. Do you guys know who they are?
I just saw this actually. Shit.
It is the aforementioned Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And the Carolina Panthers.
Oh yeah, Carolina.
The Carolina Panthers traded their 1st-round pick next year to who? The Chicago Bears. So right now, the Chicago Bears, if the season ended, have the 1st and 2nd overall draft picks in the NFL draft.
Unbelievable.
So and who's to say Chicago and Carolina are going to be any better?
Sadly, I don't think having the 1st and 2nd overall pick will help them next year.
Well, it depends. If they're smart and they draft one of the QBs, whether you like Caleb Williams or Drake May, and then you pair him with Marvin Harrison Jr., then that's the smart way to go. Or if they go in there and go, we're going to take this left tackle and this defensive tackle. Okay, good job. Like, no. Absolutely.
I guess that really depends on Chicago if they're really in on Justin Fields or not.
If they
But honestly, even if they are, I'm still taking Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams and Drake May are much better prospects. So then you take them and you trade away Fields. You trade Fields to Denver,
or just don't pick up his contract.
I think he's still got one more year, but still, you do something like that. All right, so I thought that was an interesting stat.
Either way.
Dave, let's go with you taking a victory lap.
All right, this week, my victory lap, so in week 2, after the waiver wire situation, I got a little comment from Chaz, both on the podcast and in the group text. And I took that comment and I folded it up and I kept it in my pocket until right now. And I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to take a victory lap on my boy, Puka Nacua.
Good job.
Who at 163 yards on a TD, people were kind of like, I understand that in the beginning of the season, there's usually a guy that's a flash in the pan that has a game out of nowhere, and you grab that guy off the waiver wire, and he doesn't do anything the rest of the season.
But there's Kevin Ogletree, ring a bell.
There's also that situation, though, where you grab a guy off the waiver wire week 1 and he ends up being a legitimate stud for the rest of the season. And I do think Puka Nacua has the chance to do it. Even when Cooper Kupp comes back, I know his production is definitely going to go down, but I still think as a waiver wire grab, this dude he's just absolutely insane. Through 4 games this season, 39 receptions, already over 500 yards. Yeah, I'm taking a victory lap on.
The best waiver wires are either him or the same team, Kyren Williams. I mean, those guys, they're both crushing it. But there is a chance that when Kupp comes back, that Puka's still good. I mean, there's 3 things that can happen. Kupp comes back and Puka's dog water. Kupp comes back and Puka's still all right and Kupp is fantastic. Or Kupp comes back and they're both kind of eating into each other and they're both mid. You know what I mean? And that could be bad for everyone involved if that's the case. But the Rams are playing a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, they are. And Stafford looks good. Well, not good, but sufficient.
But
he's getting the ball to his guy. Puka Nacua is the real deal. I don't see a scenario where they stop using this kid. I don't. Even when Kupp comes back, he's eligible to practice on Wednesday. I don't know. I think they both have good seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously still. I'm not being ridiculous here. Cooper Kupp is the wide receiver 1 here, but
sure.
I do think for a waiver wire grab, this is a guy that I've been starting in my flex spot because it's just been a waiver wire grab. I mean. Just been lights out in a flex role. He'd just been lights out. What a snag.
Here's the thing to think about with Puka Nacua, and I'm going to give him love here. Right now, he is outpacing Calvin Johnson from 2012 and Cooper Kupp from 2021. Those are the 2 greatest receiving yardage seasons ever. He's outpacing Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp's pace. By the way, who was the quarterback for both of those guys?
The one and only Rocket Arm Stafford.
Right. So it's there's a chance Puka Nacua could have a Cooper Kupp season. And there's a chance that he could just disappear off the face of the earth. There's a chance that Cooper Kupp doesn't come back. I've heard nothing about the guy. They're already talking about Jonathan Taylor ramping up and ready to run and doing what he's got to do. I've heard nothing about Cooper Kupp. Have you guys? I've heard nothing.
The only thing that I heard was that he's eligible to practice on Wednesday. That was the only update that I've gotten on.
There's a chance.
Heard about how he's progressing with the hamstring. Hamstrings are tricky. We've said this before on the podcast. Actually, I think Dave has said that hamstrings are tricky. You never know what's going to happen with a hamstring injury, and that was Keenan Allen's thing last year. Is every week they were like, "Oh, you could come back," and he's like, "Nope, I'm not ready yet." It's like, okay.
And that was Michael Thomas, if you guys remember, 2 years ago. Before the ankle injury. Yep, he was on IR. He's on IR. He's going to come back. He's eligible to return. He ain't ready. He's out for the year now. Mm-hmm. So, there's that chance. I just don't want anyone to forget about that. I would love to see Cooper Kupp come back. I have 0 shares of him, but this guy's a great player for the league. Let him come back. But it's scary to see. So, but good job, Dave. Congratulations on the nice pickup of Hakuna Matata Puka Nacua. And take a victory lap. That's a great one. All right.
I gotta take a victory lap just because I've picked up so much garbage on the waiver wire to actually grab something that of value once. I gotta gloat a little bit.
That's good. All right, Adam. What
Yes.
is your lap?
My victory lap goes out to me this week, and here's why. I am currently winning, and the game is over now. Monday Night Football is done. Seattle wins 24-3. The score in my matchup right now is 121.92 to 121.36. I pull out the smallest margin of victory this week because Tyler Lockett couldn't catch one more pass at the end of the game because they were just running the clock out. So my victory lap goes to me for that small margin. But I'm going to take the win on that one. I needed it in the Fantasy Football Bros League. So here we are.
What? So it was point what? What did you win by?
121.92 to 121.36, barring any stat changes and corrections. Hopefully none come. But
So-
as of right now, that
So
is the
0.6.
margin of victory.
0.6.
And I'm gonna say that I love you, bro, but I'm gonna take a shit on your victory lap because I just checked and I just lost because Tyler Lockett did not get enough points.
Well, I am sorry to hear that. But my victory lap is about me, not you. So
I got you.
I'm taking the win and I'm taking the victory.
I got you actually beat, Adam, because I won my game in this other league 137.08 to 136.58. So I won by 0.5 points. So